a lot of these ranchers are feeling betrayed. Destiny Weeks, an Oklahoma rancher, said this: "It feels like a slap in the face to rural America. It makes you feel invisible and overlooked." And Justin Tapper, is the president of the U.S. Cattlemen's Association, said a deal of this magnitude with Argentina would undercut the very foundation of our cattle industry. What do you say to cattle producers in this country?
Yeah, there's a lot of frustration on both sides. This president has made it very clear that his promise to bring the cost of living, cost of goods down, beef continues to go up. But there has been no one who has been more resolute, who has been more passionate about supporting rural America, about supporting our farmers and our ranchers than Donald Trump. And we see that over and over and over again. We'll get to a good resolution on this. I've already talked to a lot of our ranchers. We feel really good about the direction that we're heading.
Oh, hi, Brooke Rollins, Agriculture Secretary. Elliott Morgan here. Hey, just a quick question. Is Trump supporting rural America in the room with us right now? I noticed you said he supports rural America over and over and over again. I was just wondering if you could name like a concrete example that's reflected in the policymaking over the past 10 months of this administration. Otherwise, people might think you're speaking hyperbolically in an effort to distract from the hollowness of your claims. They might even think that you're acting kind of like a propagandist and just sort of saying what you need to say to appease Trump. Now, where would you have possibly learned how to do that?
Governor, let's talk a little bit about the farmers in your state, because President Trump's push to put tariffs on China has created lots of problems for the farmers in your state, particularly the soybean farmers. I was reading that 1 out of 3 farmers in Arkansas could face bankruptcy without government assistance at this point, that they're expected to lose $85 an acre when it comes to soybean farmers. What are you doing?
You know, this is one of the most difficult challenges that we're facing in the country, but I'm thankful we have a president who actually loves our farmers and is willing to do things to help support them.
Oh, I see. It's like a script, that you all follow. First, you praise Trump, and then you blame Biden, and then you throw out a large number, and then you just praise Trump some more. I mean, it's really, truly incredible. Like, I've never seen the Manchurian Candidate, but I have seen 28 Years Later, and there does seem to be some similarities with this administration and, the zombies. So on one side, right now, we have the farmers, and they're not happy. But on the other side, we have these soulless sycophants that are saying there's absolutely nothing to worry about. So we've heard from one side. Now let's hear from the farmers. I'm sure their stories are going to line up perfectly. They're not going to.
This president sold America's farmers out. And, farmers called every day and they said that they feel like they've been betrayed by this president, $40 billion to Argentina. And then they start to sell soybeans to China. And then the president comes and invites them here to the United States and then cuts another deal undermining beef cattle farmers here at home. So he always says he's putting America's first, that he loves farmers, but this doesn't look American at all to America's farmers.
Okay, yeah, that does not sound good at all. But hey, that's only one farmer, right? One farmer who talks to a bunch of other farmers who probably also talk to a bunch of other farmers. I'm starting to think that maybe just unilaterally slapping tariffs on anyone and anything maybe isn't a good thing. Maybe it not only forces Americans to have to pay for the majority of those tariffs, but it also hurts farmers when they lose massive buyers like China. And then when you start importing beef from Argentina, you further undercut the farmers. And this causes what's called a ripple effect. So on that ripple effect, here's another farmer.
And I feel bad for the beef industry, because the beef industry, they buy about 6 billion bushels of corn from us every year. And that's worth $25 billion of economic activity that goes back to grain farmers like me. And those poor cow-calf producers are finally getting ahead after being in debt too. And Stephanie, the American people need to realize that only 16 cents of every dollar goes back to me, the farmer, and the rancher. And it's the packers who are making the money right now. And when I feel so bad for our seniors sitting at home saying, why are these farmers asking for a bailout? We're not asking for a bailout. Donald Trump did this to us. And unfortunately, we are hurting right now. We are the collateral damage to what's going on. And he had 8 years to plan this. Why did he put us in the crosshairs of this collateral damage?
Yeah, but Trump doesn't really seem like the kind of guy with a plan, though, right? Like, I mean, he's not exactly like a planner, so to speak. I mean, this is the same guy who told us to like inject disinfectant into our bodies to kill COVID, which in fairness sounds like a totally reasonable idea if you're 12 years old. So I don't really see Trump being able to process the ripple effect that all of these unilateral and short-sighted tariffs are going to cause, because I don't think he has the cognitive capacity to like process time. Like for him to understand how this is not only hurting the American consumer, but soybean farmers and cattle ranchers and grain farmers, that would require like charts and graphs and like the ability to incorporate abstract reasoning into your decision making. And I don't think that's our guy, you know. But fortunately, we have Mike Johnson, who will surely hear these concerns and we will surely respond in a way that is transparent and definitely not, he's going to take out the same script again. All right, take it away, Mike.
The president is unhinged. He is unwell. What are you doing?
A lot of folks on your side are too. I don't control.
Oh my God, please. That performance in front of the generals, that
I didn't see it.
is so dangerous. You know I serve on Foreign Affairs and Appropriations. This is a collision of those two things. Our allies are looking elsewhere. Our enemies are laughing.
I just left
you
the
have a
speaker's
president
side.
who is unwell.
Isn't it fascinating when humans attempt to communicate with robots? You know, they immediately try to appeal to their humanity and it never quite works. Mike Johnson in that clip looks like he is being scolded at a wedding for having one too many spritzes and body slamming the wedding cake. And he looks like he is a kid in trouble, and he's doing what any kid in trouble would do, which is just going, I don't even know anything about that. What's frustrating about this is that this administration has been in the White House for 10 months. But at least concerning tariffs, people have been sounding the alarms over these things since even before that, since he was campaigning. And now we're seeing all of the negative ramifications. So it's incredibly difficult to watch this happen in real time and then to get gaslit as though it's not happening. I don't know if you guys saw this tweet recently. I would give credit, but I'm not going to. So it's something like a unified theory that everyone is basically 12 years old. Unilateral, wide, sweeping tariffs, that's a great idea if you're 12 years old. Bailing out Argentina because you like the country's president and his silly haircut, that's a great idea too if you're 12 years old. Acting like you have no idea that the country is complaining, or that you have no idea how embarrassing and detrimental the policies you're implementing are on both the national and international stage, that is what 12-year-olds do. Excellent job. And also fleecing your constituents while telling them that actually nothing is going on, that sounds like a 12-year-old to me. And hey, that's okay, because the people, many of them at least, who voted these people into office, you're not going to believe it, a lot of them are 12 years old, which should be illegal, by the way, for them being so into voting laws. You know what I mean? Here's the deal. You can't just pretend that you don't know what's going on all the time when it's your own country that's hurting, because you're the one running the country. Do you see? This is the abstract reasoning that I would love to see just a little bit more of in this administration, because otherwise, I mean, gangbusters, you guys. For a gaggle of illiterate 12-year-olds, you're absolutely crushing it. I'm kidding. That is a disservice to 12-year-olds. You're actually probably, you're way worse. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I actually found $50 in a jacket earlier, so I'm going to go enjoy one single burger. I'll see you next week.